And we're back at ABS Offstage Talks, and at the moment I'm joined by Susana Albuquerque. Am I pronouncing it right?
Perfect.
Thank you. Susana is a true creative leader and executive creative director of Uzina, an independent agency from Portugal, president of Portugal's Creativity Club, and board member of ADCE. Glad to have you with us. And first of all, how are you enjoying your visit? We all hope that you don't hold any grudge over Georgia's fantastic win over Portugal through the Euros.
I was a bit resentful when I arrived because I had met Becca in Amsterdam, and I was joking with him when we knew that Portugal was going to play against Georgia, and I was very confident, talking top down. And then we have a chat group on WhatsApp for the ADC team, and when we lost, of course I congratulated, but I was like, oh my God. And I think that's a good lesson. You can never take anything for granted, I was so convinced that we are going to win to Georgia.
Especially with the newcomers and underdogs, you never know what to expect.
Yeah.
Susana, your work has a reputation of being very bold and forward-thinking, and one could probably say that Portuguese advertising market can be compared to Georgian one because of its size and youth of the industry. How important has being devoted to creativity and driving your and your country's creativity forward been to you?
I think it's a good comparison because we are a very small market, we are quite peripheric, and we are still struggling. It's a recent industry too. We had fascism and we had a revolution in 1974. Of course, we are a bit older than you as a democracy, but anyway, it's a recent industry. And I mean, what I think about being devoted to creativity, the way I present my agency to our clients or prospects is the only thing we produce is creativity, ideas. We don't have anything else to sell. We are not media agency, we are not a production agency, we are not a performance agency. The sole product we have to sell are ideas. Of course, a lot of things are involved in ideas, but it's the only thing that we have to sell. And for me, idea, of course, it's a generic thing, but it's basically to come up with a fresh story that somehow can impact the people you want to talk to in a way that adds value to the brand you want to communicate. And that's the only thing you have to sell. So all my work in the last, I work in advertising for 30 years. It's been, of course, it takes time for you to understand what you are doing, how to position in the industry, what you think can be your point of view on the work. But for these 30 years, for me, it's to find something in the brand, find a fresh story in a brand that can impact people's lives and add value to the brand. And that's it. That's all the time what I'm asking, looking for. Of course, it can have so many different formats. Can be a TVC, can be a radio spot, can be a product that you develop, can be a stunt, can be so many things, a PR. But it's that. I think there is nothing else.
Yes, and you are not only a creative director, but you are also at the helm of Portugal's Creativity Club and member of the board of ADC. What would you say inspired you to help others spread their wings in creativity, and what would your message be to those who can take up this heavy burden of helping others develop as well as their own creativity?
It's been 6 years since I'm the president of the local Creativity Club. And I think that's the part that I really like more, because when you work in an agency, it's a very ego work. You want to have the best work, the best ideas. You want your team to strive, to win clients, to win pitches. And when I work at the club, it's a totally different approach and a totally different work. And what I like more is the opportunity to give back, because I think all of us, this is an industry of passion. You are passionate about your work. And you always have ideas of things you would like to occur or you'd like to do to make the industry a little better. And when you are relatively senior and you join one club like this, you have the opportunity to put it in practice because you are working for the group. So philosophically, that's my motto. And what I feel is, I think the industry for us is very different And I think in general, very different from what it was in the 90s, for instance, when I started working. It was much more egocentrical, individualist, and now it's totally different. You really have to collaborate, otherwise you cannot put anything up.
Yeah, I think that can be perfectly compared to Georgian market, where of course every agency has their own problems, but also there are some problems that should be solved altogether.
Yes.
How can the industry unite for such causes?
That's exactly that. When you have a club, a strong club, you can think of the problems you feel that the industry have, like how to attract talent, how to give visibility to new talent, how to show the people who are doing the right thing and the good work, how to educate clients in order to appreciate and want to be more brave, how to demonstrate that creativity works and has impact on the business. All these questions that you have, then you can like lists, and then try to design programs, initiatives, stuff that you can do that help solve the problem. And that's what we do basically at the club. We've been doing so many initiatives, and the people really feel the value of the club. They feel that if the club doesn't exist, the industry would be poorer. You wouldn't know where the young creatives are. You will know who the best, where is the best work. All this stuff that the clients are coming more and more. I mean, I think it's very important to have a strong local club.
That sounds very interesting, and I think we have a lot to learn from your work.
And also the connection with other countries.
Yeah,
because
exactly. Like we have to learn from each other's problems.
Totally.
Susana, throughout your speech, you showcased some of your amazing work for clients. Some of them were very technology-based, such as works for Samsung. But what caught my eye was a case for IKEA that involved a scandal surrounding the Prime Minister of Portugal, Antonio Costa, if I remember correctly. How important is it for brands to be part of such political and social events? And I would call it a social commentary, if it's not too off, especially in countries like Georgia, which are intense political situations.
I think we all in the industry talk about this right now, which is brands have a point of view and should have in something which is relevant, of course. In this case, in IKEA, there is a tradition of humor. It's a brand that it's built on humor, and very popular, very democratic, very talking to everybody. So, I mean, I don't think you can make social comments. Any brand can make any social comment about any issue. Yeah. I think you have to find something that fits you, your values as a brand, your territory as a brand. You have to have some kind of authority to have a point of view on the issue. But I think brands can and should these days have a point of view. If you are, for instance, in that case, I mean, the issue is corruption. Corruption is bad for everyone. So we took something that was about an event that was corruption, and from an IKEA point of view, we made a joke to make people more aware of what was happening. So we helped spread this conscience that this should not happen.
And I think you showed also in your case that not everybody will be happy about that comment, but you have to take some bold risks, try new things, and just hope it lands well, right? And of course, corruption is the topic that we can agree that is always wrong.
Yeah, always wrong. But of course, like you said, not everybody agrees and likes. Mm-hmm. So the second part, I think brands should take a stand, but after you have to be very well prepared, because some people won't like. There were people saying, oh, this you are contributing to the far right because the government was socialist. Or people say advertising should not make political comments. This kind of things is unacceptable. So there were people who were against, but as a brand and as a marketing department, you have to know that when you put your head out, some people will question, but what happens most of the time, if you are solid, if you are defending good values, and if you have an authority to make that stand, most of the comments kind of balance each other. Like you have people saying, "Oh, this is bad," and all the advocates, the people who love the campaign, were themselves criticizing the ones who were attacking. So you have this kind of neutral effect, ones on the others. And of course, the client has to stand still, and we had that luck. Of course, we had a lot of positive impact, but some backlash. But the client was very firm, always making a stand, saying why we can do this, what are we trying to say, to make some kind of something which is very dramatic, try to take some weight, at the same time make people laugh and think. So we had all these answers ready, and you have to stick as a team. When the shit hits the fan.
Yeah, it's never easy to sell such work, but once you do, it always pays off, I think.
Yeah, and the good thing, and that's the good thing with brave clients, a client like IKEA, they want to stand out. They want people to notice. They want maybe make people laugh, make people think. That's amazing.
I think we can agree, even though at Black Sea hasn't ended yet, that this year's at Black Sea has been a success. And with all the amazing speakers and you being one of them, what would your message be for the future of at Black Sea? What should be its next steps be?
What I see, I was really impressed with the festival. I've been in Cannes a lot of times, Golden Drum, ADC. What I feel here, I feel this amazing energy where everything works, very professional. And the quality of the speakers, of the programs, I think it's really amazing. You have a top-class creativity festival. And what I feel about the industry, I feel, seeing the work, I feel it's a young industry with a lot of potential, because you are in a region where you have a lot of cultural insights, things that are different from the rest of the world. And when you see the work, you feel that you are touching this kind of stuff, looking for stuff that only you have, but you are still struggling maybe with a bit of the craft, maybe with the way you tell the ideas on the video cases. We talked about it on the jury panel.
As well with the boldness and
the bravery for the commercial work. So what I feel is, I think you have one of the best creativity festivals, well, in Europe for sure, maybe in the world. I have never been in the all, but the ones I know, I think it's really, really a very interesting and relevant and professional content. And it's a young industry. So my advice was keep up with the spirit, because you are very open, very willing to learn, very collaborative. So see how the others are doing, try to learn the best you can take from other examples, and keep working and keep doing the work, because I think your industry have the potential to be really, really great and powerful in a few years. I think you have the potential, and I think this festival does an amazing work, inspiring for the quantity of people you have here. It changes the way people think and work. I think it will happen.
Thank you. I think the team will stay devoted to the cause, and it was amazing having you as a guest of the at Black Sea Offstage Talks, and of course as a speaker of the at Black Sea. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you. That's it.